It's been a week since we received the last snowfall on the weak layer that's been causing fatalities, near misses, and historical avalanches across the province. We are finding this persistent weak layer is still quite reactive.
In our region, we've split the current problem into two. Let's start with areas that have a thinner snowpack, like the northern Elk Valley and the Crow's Nest. These areas generally have 30 to 60 centimeters of snow sitting on top of the weak layer, which makes it easy to trigger.
So we found a great little slope to do what's called a ski cut on. So we found a small steep slope that didn't have a bunch of hazard down below, a terrain trap like a big dip or trees. And I came in and cut the slope to check the stability, and we got it to go a nice little size 1, and it ran on the same persistent weak layer we've been dealing with for the last few weeks. You can see it behind me here. What we have, you can see that dark layer in there, and that's just a really weak layer consisting of facets and surface hoar. So we're ski touring today up Nordstrom Creek in a burn on a very mellow shoulder. We're sticking to low angle terrain because we know that there's a persistent weak layer. And as we just came around the corner here, we felt a really large whoomph or settlement. We kind of felt a little bit of a drop in the whole snowpack and a large whoomping sound. And we saw trees shaking up to 40 meters away. So we see these cracks in the snow, and basically what happened was the whole weak layer failed, and if we were in steeper terrain, we would have created an avalanche. You can take a look here. We've dug down just a little bit. You can see the actual weak layer really well here, and what it is a little bit of a very thin crust right there with a bit of the old storm snow on top and just weak facets below. And that has really big propagation potential right now to set off avalanches, even from far away.
Now let's talk about the thicker snowpack areas highlighted here. These include the Lizard Range, the Flathead, and Fernie area. These zones have anywhere from 70 to 150 centimeters sitting on top of that same weak layer. Because the weak layer is deeper, it's harder to trigger by a skier. This has resulted in less obvious signs of instability, like the whoomping and cracking we were experiencing in thinner snowpack areas. People have also been reporting harder snowpack test results. But as you can see, it's still possible to trigger. And if it goes, it's gonna go big. This is footage taken by the Ministry of Transportation controlling the Morrissey slide pass above Highway 3 earlier this week. A good way to manage the terrain in these kinds of conditions is to travel and ski on terrain that has already avalanched, stick to low-angle terrain, and widen your margin of safety by avoiding terrain traps and big slopes. Always check the local avalanche bulletin before heading out into the backcountry. Carry an avalanche transceiver, probe, and shovel, and take an avalanche course.